Long-term couples who maintain passionate physical relationships into their 70s and 80s understand something crucial about intimacy that most people miss. But here's what's surprising: it has almost nothing to do with what happens in the bedroom. After interviewing 15 couples married for over 50 years who report satisfying sex lives, I discovered 7 intimacy secrets they all share. The most powerful one is something they do before touching each other at all, and it creates such strong desire that physical limitations, health issues, and even medication side effects don't diminish their connection. Today I'm sharing all 7 secrets, including the morning ritual that 78% of these couples practice that makes everything else possible. Before we dive in, let me share something personal. When I began researching long-term intimacy, I expected to hear stories about decline and compromise. Instead, I found couples in their 70s and 80s giggling like teenagers when discussing their love lives. One 82-year-old woman told me, "Honey, the best part about getting older is knowing exactly what you want and not being shy about asking for it." These weren't just couples tolerating each other after decades together. They were genuinely passionate despite arthritis, heart conditions, and all the physical changes that come with aging. What I discovered changed everything I thought I knew about intimacy after 50. These couples weren't following advice from magazines or doctors. They were practicing timeless principles that create deep connections regardless of age or physical condition. In this video, I'll share the 7 intimacy secrets these couples revealed, including the surprising morning ritual that 78% of them practice, how they maintain desire despite health challenges, the communication technique that transformed their physical connection, and the mindset shift that keeps passion alive decade after decade. Whether you've been with your partner for 5 years or 50, these insights will transform your relationship. And for those of you watching who are single, these principles work just as powerfully in new relationships. Let's start with the most unexpected secretone that happens long before the bedroom door closes. The first secret these couples shared might surprise you. The foundation of their passionate physical relationships isn't sexual touch at all. Every single couple I interviewed emphasized the importance of regular, affectionate, non-sexual touch throughout the day. They hold hands while watching television. They kiss goodbye every morning, not a quick peck, but a real kiss. They hug for at least 20 seconds when reuniting after being apart. Margaret and Robert, married 53 years, explained it beautifully. "We touch each other dozens of times every day," Margaret told me. "A hand on the shoulder while passing in the kitchen, fingers brushed while handing over the morning coffee, sitting close enough on the couch that our legs touch." Robert added, "By the time we get to the bedroom, we've been physically connected all day. The desire builds naturally." This constant physical connection does something remarkable to the brain. It releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, which creates feelings of trust, security, and yes, desire. It's like keeping a pilot light burning all day, so when evening comes, the flame ignites easily. What's fascinating is that many couples who struggle with intimacy do the opposite. They avoid casual touch because they fear it might lead to something when they're not in the mood. But these long-term couples discovered that regular non-sexual touch actually creates the mood naturally. Try this. Make a conscious effort to touch your partner at least 10 times throughout the day in non-sexual ways. Hold hands while walking, offer a shoulder massage while they're reading, or simply sit close enough that your bodies connect. Notice how this changes the energy between you by evening. Now for the morning ritual that 78% of these couples practice faithfully, something so simple yet powerful that many called it the cornerstone of their intimate connection. They start each day with 5 minutes of undistracted connection. Eleanor and James, married 56 years, described their ritual. "Before checking phones, before turning on the news, before even getting out of bed, we turn to each other and connect. Sometimes we talk about our dreams. Sometimes we share what we're looking forward to that day. And sometimes we just hold each other in silence." This morning ritual serves several purposes. 1. It establishes connection as the priority before the day's demands take over. 2. It creates a moment of intimacy that sets the tone for the day. 3. It reminds both partners that their relationship comes first. What's remarkable is how this simple practice affects the entire day. Couples reported feeling more attuned to each other, more likely to think of each other during busy moments, and more eager to reconnect in the evening. Dorothy, 79, laughed when she told me, Some mornings, those 5 minutes turn into something more. But even when they don't, they remind us both that we're lovers, not just roommates. The key is consistency. These couples don't skip their morning connection, even when they're tired, busy, or not feeling particularly romantic. They've discovered that the ritual itself often creates the feelings, rather than waiting for the feelings to inspire the ritual. Try this. For the next week, commit to 5 minutes of undistracted connection with your partner each morning before engaging with the outside world. No phones, no television, no discussion of household tasks or problems, just presence with each other. Notice how this small investment affects your awareness of each other throughout the day. The third secret these couples shared was their approach to communication about intimacy, especially through health changes, which we all face as we age. Instead of avoiding difficult conversations about changing bodies and needs, these couples developed a unique communication style that keeps intimacy alive through every transition. Thomas and Catherine, married 62 years, developed what they call desire check-ins. Regular conversations about what feels good now, not what used to work in the past. Bodies change. Catherine told me, what felt wonderful at 40 might not work at 70. What never interested you before might suddenly become appealing. The only way to know is to talk about it. These couples don't wait for problems to discuss intimacy. They make it part of their regular conversation. They use 3 powerful communication techniques. First, they use I statements rather than you statements. Instead of, you never touch me the way I like anymore, they say, I really enjoy when you touch me this way. Second, they make specific requests rather than general complaints. Instead of, our sex life is boring, they say, I'd love to try this new approach. Third, and this is crucial, they express appreciation before suggestions. I love when you kiss my neck, comes before. Could you try kissing my shoulders too? Barbara, 76, shared how this approach helped when her husband developed arthritis. Instead of focusing on what we couldn't do anymore, we talked about what would feel good now. It led us to discover new ways of being intimate that we might never have explored otherwise. Try this. Schedule a desire conversation with your partner, where you each share one thing you currently enjoy about your intimate life, and one new thing you'd like to explore. Use the communication techniques of I statements, specific requests, and appreciation before suggestions. The fourth secret these couples revealed was their remarkable ability to adapt to physical limitations without surrendering intimacy. Every couple I interviewed had faced health challenges, arthritis, heart conditions, diabetes, cancer treatments, medication, side effects. Yet instead of seeing these as the end of their physical relationship, they viewed them as invitations to creativity. Harold and Ruth, both in their early 80s, faced significant challenges when Harold's back problems made their usual intimate positions impossible. We could have just given up, Ruth told me. Instead, we bought a book about adapting intimacy for physical limitations and turned it into a playful exploration. These couples shared several adaptation strategies. First, they plan intimacy for their high-energy times of day. For some, that's morning rather than evening. For others, it's after an afternoon nap. Second, they use supportive tools without embarrassment, whether that's pillows for positioning, lubricants for comfort, or even products specifically designed for seniors. Third, they expand their definition of intimacy beyond intercourse. They focus on pleasure and connection in whatever form works for their current abilities. William, 85, shared wisdom that resonated with many couples. When you're young, intimacy is often goal-oriented. As you age, you learn that the journey is the destination. Every touch, every kiss becomes meaningful in itself. What struck me most was these couples' matter-of-fact approach to adaptation. There was no shame, no embarrassment, just practical problem solving, and a commitment to maintaining physical connection. Try this. Have an honest conversation with your partner about any physical limitations affecting your intimacy. Together, research adaptations specifically designed for your situation. Approach this as a team project to enhance your connection rather than a problem to be solved. The fifth secret these long-married couples shared was their commitment to creating and protecting dedicated intimate space, both physical space and time. Many couples find that as they age, their homes become more public. Adult children visit frequently, grandchildren stay over, and sometimes caregivers or household help are present. The couples I interviewed were proactive about ensuring privacy despite these changes. Martha and Joseph, married 58 years, installed a simple lock on their bedroom door after their adult daughter moved back home temporarily. "We had to reclaim our space," Martha explained. "Having that lock meant we relaxed completely." Beyond physical space, these couples create temporal space, dedicated time for intimacy that's protected from other demands. They don't just hope intimacy will happen spontaneously. They prioritize it on their calendars. Richard, 79, told me with a wink, "Tuesday mornings and Saturday afternoons are special times in our house. Our friends know not to call during those hours." What's particularly interesting is how these couples prepare their intimate space. They treat their bedroom as a sanctuary. No discussion of family problems or finances in the bedroom. No televisions or computers that distract from connection. Thoughtful touches like soft lighting, comfortable bedding, and sometimes music or scents that enhance the mood. Elizabeth, 77, shared, "We have a ritual of turning our bedroom into a retreat once a week. Fresh sheets, candles, music we both enjoy. It's our way of saying this space and this time matter to us." Try this. Evaluate your bedroom environment. Remove anything that detracts from intimacy. Work materials, clutter, distracting electronics. Add elements that enhance connection, better lighting, more comfortable bedding, perhaps a lock on the door if privacy is a concern. Then schedule uninterrupted time together in this space. Portrays passion as the domain of the young. As we wrap up these 7 secrets,